Fellow Ambazonians, events of the past few days have compelled me to address you today on the state of our fight for a free and independent Southern Cameroon. Since the abduction of the Naira 10, the struggle has never come under this level of calculated and synchronized attacks that we see today. But first of all, let me remind every Ambazonian out there that we cannot be naive. We just cannot be. The attacks directed at Chris Ano are not about nor against Chris Ano. Emmanuel Insolai, the face behind the mask, the unlicensed, unregistered foreign agent operating in the USA on behalf of La République du Cameroon, knows that they will never get Chris Ano indicted or arrested in any matter relating to the frivolous allegations they are churning out. Every one of your attacks is geared towards ultimate capitulation of our concerted effort to have our independent Southern Cameroons restored. The attacks are aimed at all of us, every one of us, and the generations yet unborn that we are fighting and sacrificing for today. Knowing this, therefore, it becomes incumbent upon all of us to not even imagine for a second the idea of chickening or bowing down and bowing out of our good cause. At a moment like this, our hope, our comfort in our strength can only come from God and from concerted unity, renewed unity of purpose and of course of action. We must not falter. We must not despair. Listen to me. We will have to face or confront every Egyptian and cross every Red Sea before we reach our promised land, Ambazonia. As we fight this fight, we must develop the habit of constantly reminding ourselves that freedom is never given. It is fought for and it is taken. That is the reason that La République du Cameroon remains relentless in making sure it silences our leadership and frustrates the rest of our people to everyone surrender. 3 things have happened since October, when I took over the leadership of this struggle, that demonstrate the anguish, the desperation, ladies and gentlemen, and the urgency with which La République du Cameroon wants the war ended, albeit on their own terms. They wish they get rid of me sooner than later. I have no doubt I am their nightmare, and I can promise all of you that nothing is going to change. We embark in this crusade to free homeland, very much aware that there are courts, there are prisons, and even death too. We have measured the cost and we know it is worth paying for. If only 8 million of our people can regain their freedom and their independence. No amount of false allegations, raids and searches, arrests on our homes, blackmail and defamatory surrogacy will intimidate me, not at all. On October 1st, when we went visiting our brothers and sisters, refugees in Calabar, Nigeria, a frantic effort by La République du Cameroon was initiated to get me abducted and rushed to that damn country. A speedboat was hurried into the creeks or waterways of Calabar, waiting to rush me into La République du Cameroon. But God made it that we left the place before they started hunting for us. That plot failed. This month, Precisely on November 17, I flew out of the USA for some meetings in Southeast Asia. Those who monitor me and send reports, perhaps, wondering what I traveled out for that far. It is my belief that they misinformed federal agents that I must have traveled to procure arms, guns, which is why I believe on November 22nd, 4 days after I traveled, a warrant for a search to be conducted in my house was issued in the South Texas District Court. The search warrant is issued on November the 22nd. I returned on the 26th, and a day after, that is on the 28th, my home is invaded and raided in search for weapons. It was such a traumatizing experience, ladies and gentlemen. The entire community was invaded with over 24 of a combined force of the police, a SWAT team, and special U.S. agents. People in the neighborhood surely thought I must either be some big-time drug pusher, busted, or a terrorist. But let me assure the enemy that the experience left no dent at all on my resolve to fight and to remain steadfast for a free and independent Southern Cameroon's AMBAZONIA. 3 of our comrades were picked up in New York, Minnesota, and Missouri on the same day. They were indicted the same day, and as I speak to you today, they remain behind bars. Even though they didn't belong to this interim government, we still consider them our comrades. We are united in one thing: the lofty idea of a free and independent Southern Cameroon's AMBAZONIA. If we need unity, it is now. This is the moment. We must fight for everyone who has proven dedication to fight for our independence, no matter the group they belong to. Yesterday, they searched my house and arrested these other 3 comrades. Tomorrow, it could be yours that they come for. Those who are in the habit of making a mockery of others and trying to score cheap political points in the social media and surrogacy in situations like this should take note. Tomorrow it may as well be your turn. This is no time for social media conspiracy and surrogacy and political squalls. It is time to stand up for our own. Remember the phrase, leave no one behind. Leave no one behind. Yes, we must not allow those 3 comrades to their own fate. Until they are judged guilty, AMBAZONIANS must rise up from everywhere in the diaspora to secure their freedom by hiring the best attorneys to defend them. It is our responsibility. If we do not do so, and Emmanuel Salai, the Cameroon foreign agent, succeeds to throw them in jail, ladies and gentlemen, such a victory may motivate them to come after you next. And they will come after every perceived and potential threat to their one Cameroon agenda until they have succeeded to imprison all who are still standing. The other day, Cabinet held an emergency meeting and decided that we call for a massive unity rally and send a message to U.S. government authorities that the 3 AMBAZONIANS are not criminals, they are not terrorists, and that they are freedom fighters, they are liberators. The only criminal here is Emmanuel Salai, the unlicensed foreign agent operating in the USA for La République du Cameroon, and for that, we go after him. On that same Tuesday, December 13, the interim government is declaring a full day lockdown of all AMBAZONIA as a symbolic gesture of solidarity to our comrades arrested. Ground Zero shall therefore remain locked down on Monday and Tuesday, the 12th and the 13th of December, respectively. The restoration forces shall enforce this lockdown of all AMBAZONIA. Let us send a strong message to Cameroon that we are not intimidated, we are not scared, we are not perturbed, and we shall never become what they want us to become. We demanded for dialogue, but they walk away from the Swiss process, and they think they can use the guns and foreign agencies to muzzle our resolve. We must deny them that route too. We must deny them. I am therefore appealing to all stakeholders and frontline leaders in this struggle, especially those with close proximity to Washington, D.C., to please be present at the Washington, D.C. rally on December 13th so we can all send a unified message to the U.S. authorities of the criminal undertakings of Cameroon agent Emmanuel Nsalai. Fellow AMBAZONIANS, Cameroon carries out these pogroms and schemes, hoping that we behave like cowards and chicken out. I like them. And those who send reports to listen to the sound of my voice today, I am not cracking here. I don't take intimidation that kindly. Intimidations always stir me up to want to fight even the more. And that is what I'm resolved to do. Ours is not a rebellion against the country of Cameroon. We are not their citizens. Cameroon isn't our country. Who declares war on his own people if indeed we are Cameroonians? We are not Cameroonians. We are AMBAZONIANs. We have never been Cameroonians and will never be Cameroon. Not even, ladies and gentlemen, not when some of us can still fight. The war we are fighting isn't by choice. We didn't provoke it. We didn't choose it, and we didn't start it. It was waged on us on November 30th, 2017 by the vegetable called Paul Biya. What we have done since then is defend ourselves, our people, from their invasion. At this time, nothing is going to stop us. If you have lost anything in the 6 years of this war, which I know many of you have, then you understand what I'm talking about here. How can we forget that close to 40,000 of our people have been killed in the hands of the Cameroon army? About 200,000 documented and undocumented refugees, ladies and gentlemen, are in and around West and Central Africa. Over 700,000 others internally displaced, and about 4,000 communities of ours burnt down by the Cameroon army. How can we forget this? How can we? And I can't forget of the criminal barbarism that the genocidal invading army of La République du Cameroon lives on our people. Yesterday, for example, I came across this video footage of the Cameroon army torturing one of ours. He was picked up, stripped naked, beaten mercilessly, and then is commanded to sit up. While he is sitting up, the army lighted a piece of paper and used the fire on it to begin burning the tip of the young man's penis. And the man is helpless. I just couldn't stand the sight of it. I couldn't watch the footage past this point, and I don't know what happened to him at the end of that video. But this is the kind of wickedness, barbarism, and inhumanity that people want to stop us from fighting. Bad things, they say, happen when good people do nothing. I promise you, we must take this war into Cameroon. And I'm even now more convinced we must do so, and urgently. We must do everything to give them the kind of pain they have unleashed on innocent people in our territory for the past 6 years. Comrades, this should be our common resolve. Do not say, you have given too much already. Do not be intimidated by what you see. Chickening out is a result they want to see, they want to have. But let us all disappoint them and form this war even much more than we have done in the past 6 years. Let us disappoint our Republic to Cameroon. Let us hold them spellbound militarily, economically, and otherwise until they are ready for meaningful dialogue and not the sham in Canada. I urge every restoration fighter on ground zero to stand up now and be determined more than ever before to defend AMBAZONIA. Do not think that if you lay down your guns that they will spare you. Remember, those in the DDRs, the Namberes and so on, if La République du Cameroun didn't spare them when they surrendered, they will not spare you. Stand your ground, and when you go to fight, show no mercies on any invading Cameroon army. Our mission is to take back our territory from Nkambe to the Mongol. That is our mission. And until that mission is accomplished, we are not done. We are not done yet. If Cameroon thinks it will end this war with guns and on their own terms, they have been reminded again and again that isn't going to happen. And they shouldn't think they will use this intimidation to get us engaged in the sham that they have ongoing in Canada. Of course not. We will never be a party to it. We will never be part of any meeting, any conference, any agreement, anything that does not have the root causes of this conflict on the table. For ground zero, I encourage all of you to stay strong, remain upbeat and optimistic. We will get back our country. We fight a just cause, and God is on our side. You are all witnesses to us using this media again and again to condemn kidnapping and ransom taking. We will continue to do so, and we believe that anybody who was engaged in any such activity should be subjected to the full weight of the law. And if that law is American law, so be it. We have faith in American law. No one will go to jail unless the facts are fully established. And before I go, I just want to say to you, ignore all those trashy toilet tissue newspaper stories out there about some bank accounts uncovered. I am as clean as a piece of white paper. The struggle continues. God bless you all. Long live the Federal Republic of AMBAZONIA. Short live the war.